ko tauma nei tēnei wā ki te whakamoimati, ki te whakawhetai atu. Ana mātou kia koe mō ngā manaakitanga I uwhia mai ki rungi a mātou. E pātukuna mai tō wairua tapu, tō aroha, hei awhina, hei tohutohu I a mātou I o mātou nei mahi. Ko tēnei tō mātou ino kia koe pāki, me te ingoa tapu I kuraiti. Āmene.
Amen. Kia ora, bro. Hey, actually, just a little share. Mum has her own grace that she says, and we were talking about the night, and we would like you. We'll get you a hard copy of it. We'd like you to translate it, bro.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries.
Just turn it into mind food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know, I'm actually just going to say this openly. Mum shared a little bit about some changes that I didn't know you'd had with the churches and stuff.
Oh, yes.
And possibly looking towards maybe changing up some of our where our centralness comes from our prayers.
Yes.
You know, like what we're actually representing and stuff like that, what we're giving thanks to, the who
Yes.
and what above.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just playing with the idea of an adjustment there as we go through. So yeah, just a thought process.
Yeah. For example,
no, awesome.
For example, the prayer just goes real simple, and I made it up so that it didn't offend
anyone or anything.
Anyone, and I could say it at any time for any reason for Kai. And so it's like, bless this food to our bodies. May it be healthy, nutritious, yummy, and delicious. Bless all the hands that had anything to do with it coming here. From the field, the ocean, the paddock to the plate. Amen. So it's real simple. It just sort of whakapavas right back to the origination of the food and the kai.
Yes.
Yes. If we can turn that into
awesome.
something that's that kind of mind food and realization of the body, that would be really cool.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
In the middle,
Hey, welcome, Jono.
welcome. But I'm also in the middle of the karakia. I got this beautiful male voice that popped into my screen going, "This meeting is being recorded." So everything you do, I get through vocals and like just auditories.
Ah,
Yeah, okay.
right.
Yeah, I heard the recorded thing too, and I was like, huh?
Now, what lovely voice is that? Who's this?
Pardon?
No reply? Who was the lovely voice that spoke?
Melanie.
I am Melanie's Jam.
Hello.
You're real quiet, eh?
Me, yeah.
Or-
No, Charm's real quiet voice-wise compared to Mel.
Oh,
Mel,
yeah,
you're nice and strong, Mel.
Better now?
Yeah, that's clearer. Thank you.
Yep, that makes a difference. All right, so welcome everybody. Another day on planet Earth, and here we are in whatever shape, form, mental state, emotional state, frustration, joy, pleasure, pain, whatever it is. We were all in this bucket together, and we have the opportunity to just enjoy this process and have an uplift that just sort of lets you have a buzz for the day. So that's sort of the outcome for today's idea, and we thought we'd play a lot more today than anything else, rather than checking in, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been laying on my bed, or I've been walking in the hall, like just keeping it into an. So I'd like to lead out with your intro, if you want to speak into the group. So just pick up anything that you can, and just describe it and its uses. So I'll lead out because I have video I can show you, but for the audio recorders I'm going to have to describe it. So I am holding Blue Tack. Blue Tack is, kia ora Jono, good to see you on video. Blue Tack is like that hard, sticky kind of stuff that helps me personally stick flip charts to a wall or posters to a wall. Blue tack, I love playing with blue tack because I can pull it apart and it can entertain me for ages and ages. If someone's talking, if I've got blue tack in my hand, I'll be rolling it around in my hand, just literally like, remember Play-Doh from when you were younger? Just that idea.
Yeah.
Can anyone remember the smell of Play-Doh on your hands?
Yep.
Real salty, yeah.
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 Make that stuff.
Try and eat it.
Yeah, of course, we've all tasted Play-Doh because we were all children at some stage, put everything in our mouths. So mine is blue tack, and blue tack sticks things together for purpose. So that's my contribution to the room today, and I just sort of sticking things together, pulling things together, and being able to pull it apart into different shapes. It's something to play with, it's something to do with my hands while we're chatting. So that's me. Just an invite to share into the group. Just grab something, anything, and just have a kōrero.
Oh yeah, well I'll go next because I've got something. I've got a spinner in my hand. For those who can see, it's a blue spinner. It's actually my son's, but as I was walking to the kitchen to jump online, I grabbed it just to sort of spin it and to play with it. And I haven't put it down yet. So other than I'm just purely using it for entertainment, for my own personal entertainment, and it's quite satisfying because this particular spinner spins for a long time. It's not like some of the other ones I had where it only spins a couple of times and then it stops. So yeah, that's just my thing that I'll share in, and I'll probably keep spinning it throughout this group meeting. Thank you.
Okay. I'll call it just as it's on screen. So Alex, you're up next.
Cool. So I've got some headphones that every time I use them, they flake off nicely. If you can see or not, they're over the ear headphones, not quite fully like sealed off. So, but they flake off into my ears, and I have little black bits everywhere. And I think, what the hell have I been doing? But I've been wearing some headphones. So I'm currently working out between the heat of the sun that's absolutely cooking me and the connection that I have with these headphones to my screen, how to get the sound actually playing right through so that you're using the headphone connection to my laptop so that I'm not interfering with anyone else and I'm just talking to myself because I'm cool like that. And thank you, Jono. You actually gave me the great idea. So thank you very much, mate.
Kia ora. Let's jump to Jono then.
Bit stumped there. Now that I'm put on the spot, I don't know what to say.
Hey, you look like you're set up in some very cool, crazy cockpit there.
No, this is just at my computer.
There we go. Just at your computer. Comfort to the max. What are you eating? What have you got in your mouth? Explain it.
Got
Toast?
toast and a coffee.
Toast and a coffee. Thank you for your contribution. Is that enough for now?
For now.
Okay, thank you very much. So going across my screen, Nabre. Thanks, Jono.
Morning. I got my water canteen.
Oh, yeah?
Take it everywhere with me, I guess. I like drinking my water. Try to drink at least 3 to 4 liters a day. I think these hold up to about 0.94 or 6 liters of water, something like that, like just under a liter. So I aim to drink about hopefully 5 of these a day. Take it everywhere with me. parties. People think I'm drinking like whiskey or something.
And you just go, yep.
Yeah, rum. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's my flask.
Nice. Thank you very much. Now let's go to the next one up is Melanie. Now you're going to have to describe very well, sweetie, because you're on audio. We make sure. Oh yeah, got you unmuted. Go for it, love.
Okay, yeah, I had a mute before when someone was talking, so I'm like, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd say mine is, well, what are we kind of doing? Are we just describing something around us?
That's right. Just something, anything.
My little radio next to my bed.
Nice.
It's small, green and black, and I've been using it to listen to podcasts and listen to music and relax.
Cool. What sort of podcast do you listen to?
I try, guys. They make me laugh. It's hilarious.
Hey, good.
And I use it to watch the stuff too. Yeah, I recently just got Disney Plus, so I can watch the movies.
Disney Plus was that?
Yeah, Disney Plus. Like $10 a month, or I think pretty much $100 for a year.
Oh, yep.
I didn't like what they did with The Simpsons because they made like the old episodes that were in like 4:3
Yeah,
because they were made for a
yeah.
CRT. They tried to stretch it out and like cut off the top and bottom, so you miss like half the jokes.
Oh,
Like it's like their way to try and modernize it, but like it doesn't work.
interesting. I haven't seen that. Has anyone else?
What was that, Jono? Oh, what was the
The Simpsons. Did you see it on
Disney Plus?
yeah, Disney
Yeah.
Plus? No. Okay.
I haven't seen The Simpsons in a few years now.
Okay. Thank you, Melanie, for that discussion. That's cool. Thank you for contributing, Jono. Hey, Charm, what you got there?
I have a diary or a journal, depending on what way it's used. It can be used for writing, it can be used for Kindle, it can be used for a lot of things. It's currently one of my work journals, but yeah. And it's green with lots of writing on the outside.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So, what's anybody's hang on.
I've got something.
Oh, what's that?
I've got something that I decided to do, well, because I'm building a shed at the moment with Boxer. Not right now, but firstly, how's the sound through this? Is it all right? Cool. Okay, so I've got a new challenge for myself that I'm actually going to go back and reschool myself for a couple of mathematical things that I'm constantly needing, and that's actually trigonometry. So building is a lot about trigonometry and finding so if it's a triangle being trigonometry, finding the length of like the 3-4-5 length or 3-4-5 rule, and then understanding. I want to build my understanding again of the inside angles, outside angles, and lengths and whatnot to things, and then actually the rule of pi or the rule of the circle and distance versus angle and diameter, circumference, and all that type of stuff. So something that I've literally just written down. I have this diary as Charm did on my lap, and I'm just sharing my ideas for myself. And so those are a couple of things that I'm going to challenge myself to do moving forward a little bit. So yeah, random thought, but it's just a challenge that I'm setting myself, because just building a shed isn't enough.
So let's follow in that suit. Is there something recently that you've brought into your attention that you're adding into your day, or you're focusing about learning, or a new option that's come up in life? So just thinking about those possibilities. I haven't got a new one. I've got one that I'm just revisiting. So every day I get up in the morning and I exercise, just like yoga movement, and then I always take a 20-minute meditation. Now, so the movement can be anywhere between 20 minutes and 30 minutes. And yesterday morning, the way my morning went, I didn't do it. And by the end of the day, I was like, what's up with me? Really, like, how am I feeling here? And I thought, oh my God, I miss my kind of nutritious health, well-being stuff. So I thought, whenever that happens, the correction starts the very next moment. And so to be playful with it, instead of doing 20-20, which is 40 minutes this morning, I didn't have enough time because I slept in. So I thought, right, better do something than nothing. So I did 10 minutes of movement and 10 minutes of meditation. And my intention is to, around lunchtime, do 10 minutes and 10 minutes. And just still get it in, even though it's not the way I'd idealized it. Does that make sense? So still putting what's good for me in. There you go. All right. Shall I call it? Or you're happy to speak up?
Oh, I have something. I don't know if it's the equivalent, but I'm currently in a house I'm not usually in, and I was told that I didn't need to pay board or anything. So my thing is I could contribute around the house. And so I found that the floor is just somehow always spotless. So I've not been able to do anything to help with that. But I noticed the kitchen bench would constantly get dirty because there's a 8-year-old further out here. So rather, like, one of my contributions has just been making sure every time I walk into the kitchen that the bench is spotless. And so every day, like, I'll go in 3-4 times a day into the kitchen and just go through and clean it. Even if the bench is mostly clean, it's just got crumbs on it, I'll just make sure it's like as clean as possible. And that's been my little ritual while I've been where I'm at, is just making sure there's at least one area that's clean in the house.
That's cool. That's initiative. Well done. Awesome. Hey, Melanie love, I'm actively muting you when you're moving around. So if you want to contribute, please just unmute yourself. It's just the movement is quite loud. That's all. It's all fine, Katy Pai. Yeah. So just if I for the recording purposes, I'm just quickly muting. Okay.
Just quickly.
Yeah, I'm just playing cards.
Melanie, do you know how to unmute yourself?
No, we do it if the other person has done it. I can mute myself naturally. But yeah.
Do you know how to unmute yourself using the phone though? Because you're on a call, eh?
Yeah, I can, mute and unmute myself by myself. But if she mutes me, I can't unmute it.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll leave that up to you then, love.
Yeah. If you try pressing *6. When Karen mutes you, Melanie, try and press *6. So if you press *6, that mutes you on phone call and it unmutes you. Try that, Charm.
Yeah, I've already been doing that as much as I can.
Okay, that's cool. God, you guys are good. So that's just, so this will be the controlling computer just on the basis of it. I'm doing the recording. And noises I don't mind about, but I'll just sometimes actively do it. Okay, Melanie, what have you got?
Like it when I move around the cards.
Who talked then?
Me.
Okay, Melanie. Yep, up to you.
No, I was saying, don't you like it when I'm moving my cards and stuff?
It's not about not liking it, love. It's just so the recording is clear.
Do you want me to just mute mine whenever I'm playing with them or something, just in case?
Yeah, do that, love. Okay. What are you adding into your day? Or life?
Me?
Yes.
We've been getting out and doing some walks, maybe at like nighttime, just around the block and coming back home.
Yeah.
So I know we're still getting exercise.
Well done.
I've been trying to I'm trying to read heaps of my books. That's what I'm trying to do. It's one of my goals, try and read as many books as I can when I'm at home.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I have trouble with them too.
You have trouble with the words?
Like reading a little bit slow, yeah.
Do you listen to audio books?
No.
You do a lot of that, eh, Chum? That's right. She's on mute.
Yes, yeah, I do quite a bit of reading as well. Audiobooks are my major go-to, but I've got the occasional book hanging around as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I love learning new things. Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Charm. Navray.
I've been trying to learn card tricks now that it's been a while since we've been playing a lot of cards lately, a lot of talking. So I been YouTubing how to do card tricks and whatnot. Not quite there yet, but getting there, I guess. Trying to learn something.
Another 30 days and you'll be the card trick man.
Hopefully, yeah. Just trying to learn how fan
Next
cards.
time you see us, you can show us some tricks.
Yeah.
Can't make any promises though. Yeah, that and studying Japan, I guess, on YouTube, just watching a bunch of Japanese history and whatnot.
Did you find that Japanology stuff?
Is that are you talking about all the Japanese deities and stuff like that? Like that?
Oh, this was just a bit of a boring guy, but he just had some really interesting information, and it was Japanology on YouTube.
Not quite studying samurai and stuff like that.
That's cool. I did that. Oh, I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's me, I guess.
Thank you. Japan, that links me directly to Jono, who has a goal to go there. Jono, what you been focusing on?
There we go. Just been trying to find some time because I still have my literacy Waikato thing on Mondays. And for that, I'm currently doing creative writing. Just been playing guitar and stuff.
Who just played that?
Oh, that's just me. That's just me sitting here.
It is you, Jono. Just keep plugging away. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've just got it all
That
plugged
was
in.
really good.
So it's just messing around while I was sitting there. But
Thank you. See, we always find something new about someone. I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you. Who have we got? Is it you, Shan, next?
Press it faster, bro. Press it faster, Shannon. Go,
Yes,
bro. You can
got
do
it.
this. Yes. Woo!
Got it. I'm going to put myself on mute because there's a bit of noise going on in the background. So, Karen, I'll have myself on mute, and then when you want me to speak, I'll try and unmute myself as quick as possible. But if you would like to unmute me, if you would like to race me to unmute me, then
Okay.
we'll have a bit of a race.
Yeah, we'll have a draw, McGraw.
Yeah, but in answering the challenge or the example given by Alex, I'm trying to do something new, not revisit new, and that is trying to learn how to play the guitar and also sing in tune with the guitar.
Yes.
So are you tuning the guitar to you or tuning yourself to the guitar?
Yeah, well, yeah. Both ways.
Bro,
Because
if you
I
can do
sing
this.
and I can play the guitar, but they don't tend to match most times.
If you can do this, you are the total package.
Well, that's where I'm essentially going to, is the total package. So once I can do that, it's over, Alex. It is over.
Bro, I've got no
But
chance.
I'm hoping that after 4 weeks, I'm getting there. I'll be close.
Bro, after 4 weeks, I'll be able to build you a shed.
And I will be able to hopefully sing while you build that shed.
You!
Be the entertainment.
Mean. All right, hit us, bro. Hit us. What do you got?
I've got nothing yet.
Oh. Can you just try to do a note hit?
I can play you a chord, but I don't know what the note is, though, that goes with the chord. Yeah, so those are just chords now. I'm just working on one thing at a time, Alex. This is just day 3, so I will get there.
Day 3. We've been in. This is day 7 for. Or was it day 3 when you started?
Day 3 when I started this journey.
Perfect, bro. Perfect. How good. That is awesome, man. Total package.
That's where we're going.
Okay, is that everyone that's spoken to that? Yep. All right, so I have another concept here that you might like to play with. Please pick a childhood memory, a nice one, childhood memory about either an animal that you loved or that you had an interaction with, or a bird, like an animal or a bird. Just bring in, and if you can't remember a childhood one, you can do a more recent one. Does that make
Sorry,
sense?
I've got a question. Is an animal?
didn't
Is a
realise
bird
a
not
bird
an animal?
Do I need a lesson?
Well, can we define an animal?
Okay, let's define an animal.
Well, something that's not a human, even though some humans can be absolute animals. But
Okay.
a bird still does animal things. Like a bird does bird things while a dog does dog things, doesn't define them as separate. One's not an animal.
Okay, well then you can include food.
Because apparently puppy is not an animal. Definitely not. Puppy's a human.
Okay, all right. Okay, so please inviting you to
I
share.
thought he was a slipper.
I did not say that.
I'm inviting you to think of an animal story, a interaction that you've had that was interesting to you. And it can be as brief as you like, or it can be a lovely wee story. So just taking a couple of moments to just think of different animals. That have been in your life, or that you've only ever met, like maybe a crazy opportunity that you had up close with an animal that's not normally accessible. So just inviting you to lead out when you've got a story within that.
Well, I have one that's quite recent actually. When I was traveling right near the start of my journey, we went up to in Rio. We went up to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain. So you take gondolas to get up to the top of it. And it's quite a cool tourist attraction. But rather than being amazed by the sights and all the beauty and the overly priced merchandise, I was actually amazed by these tiny fuzzy monkeys, which the whole body of would fit in my hand. They were tiny, and they were just obviously they were so used to people, because I nearly reached out and touched one until I got told off and was explained that they carry a lot of germs and stuff, so I didn't end up touching it, but I was not even a hand's reach away from being able to touch this monkey, and it didn't seem scared at all. It was looking me directly in the eye, almost just like telling me to touch it. It was, oh my gosh, the body looked almost lion-like, and its tail was what would help it swing through the branches. There were so many of them, and actually in Rio or Brazil, these monkeys are considered pests, a lot like our possums or maybe rabbits, but they were just so I wouldn't say friendly, but they were just so accustomed to people, and all the tourists wanted to try and feed these monkeys like fruit and berries and stuff. Oh, I guess berries are fruit, but anyway, but all the signs are like, don't feed the monkeys, don't feed the monkeys, these monkeys are bad for our environment. So all the natives, apparently, just from the conversations I had, absolutely loathe these monkeys, and then you watch all the tourists get so excited about them. That's my interaction with the animals of recent. They're just adorable, fluffy as anything, lion's mane and all.
Wow, thank you. I'm looking forward to more stories.
Are they called marmosets?
That's the one.
Cool, thanks.
Now,
Sorry, and just briefly, there are larger versions of them as well in another forest we went to. Not as friendly, but they're like the size of a large cat in comparison to this tiny mouse-like figure.
So I just Googled it. Oh, bless, they're gorgeous.
Did you hear the howler monkeys there?
No, I didn't. Although I did find that the marmoset monkeys sounded a lot like birds. So whenever I thought there was a bird nearby, I found it was just a monkey.
Wow. Could you have slipped one in your handbag and brought it home?
Honestly, I was so tempted to, but every time I tried to touch one, someone grabbed me. Although me and Dad were considering making a business of it, because they're considered pests over in Brazil, but in New Zealand they'd be considered amazing, like treasures and stuff, right? So
yeah, but it was that small-minded thinking that introduced possums, and now look.
But possums were never supposed to be pets.
Yeah, but no, they were originally pets. A guy had them as pets.
Oh.
Yep, a guy had them. He had a couple as pets, let them go, and now they're just everywhere. So yeah, it's that type of thinking. Rats.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, no, probably not. Cats. A cat is a pest when it's in the wild towards our thing. So just that sort of thinking. Good idea, but no monkeys in New Zealand. We've got enough people that can be monkeys.
Much agreed.
Cool story though. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chan. All right, who else has got one? And remember, it's not a competition. It's your share, your experience with an animal.
Have we talked about elephants at all? Have we talked about elephants in our group, Nabri? Yeah? Nah? Well, here's a bit of a thinking. When I was little, there my what was he at the time? A relative of ours managed the circus, one of the circus that had the elephants and the lions, and they had the monkey as well. Definitely the elephants and the lions and all the little horses and the clowns that heaps of them would get out of this tiny little car, and they had the trapeze artists, and they had people doing acrobats and stuff like that. But there was an elephant there, and the elephant was connected. Like, you'd go to the elephant, and it was a big, ginormous elephant that could roll a car in seconds. You know, it could just bash through a house, and it would break apart its container and for transport. But this elephant there was a peg in the ground, quite a big, reasonably sturdy peg that was connected to the ground, and at the side of the elephant's leg, on its back leg, was a big metal chain, and connected between this metal chain and this metal peg was a very tiny, thin rope that was old, well used, fraying and everything. And I wasn't quite old enough to ask the question, but I remember who I was with asking the question being, well, that's a huge elephant that can just absolutely demolish anything it wanted to once it decided. How does it not just run away? And Boxer at the time turned around and said that, well, it never will, because what happens is when the elephant is younger, like an elephant never forgets, right? We've all heard that saying. Yep, so an elephant never forgets. So an elephant is taught conditional thinking. And this elephant, when they're younger, they are tied to a big piece of steel that's concreted in the ground. It's huge, it's ginormous, and there's big chains connected to this brace that goes around the elephant's leg. So the elephant, when it's a baby, it tries and tries and tries and tries and tries and tries and tries to get away, and it just never gets away. So because of conditional thinking and repetition, it's just dug it into this elephant's mind that as soon as it pulls on the leg, it can't get away. So all it needs now is that little thin piece of rope to connect it, and it goes, oh, I can't go anywhere. Oh, well, I'll just stay here. So two things, there's conditional thinking in that, and there's also the power of an amazing animal has just been reduced to what it can do with its trunk and for entertainment when it was.
Wow.
That's my story.
Thank you.
Sounds like that boundaries and behaviors, or what was it?
Behaviors, was it behaviors, beliefs, and action?
Okay, I remember hearing something, I think it was one of our first sessions, something like, it's like old, things from when you're a child, sort of, how
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly
not-
that, Bray. Exactly that.
Not being relearned.
Yeah. Conditioning of being a child, sometimes we haven't broken through those patterns
Oh, yeah.
and given ourselves permission. Oh my God, I'm an adult now. I could actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool connection. I love that. All right, who's up next? Johnny? Oh, you're the Bray?
Want to go, Johnny?
I didn't think of an experience, but like when he was talking about the elephant, it made me think of a story that I heard about, like, this was like an ancient Indian one, actually. It was about Shiva's son, Ganesha. Like, basically, the story is that he ends up not knowing it's his son, and then it ends up that his son dies. So then he gives his son the head of the most intelligent creature he can think of, which happens to be an elephant.
Right.
And the interesting thing is that his horse is happens to be a rat.
Oh.
You know, like how they say like elephants are scared of mice for some reason. Makes it kind of ironic in that sense.
That's really cool. What was that from? Just so I can quickly Google it.
Like it's from like the Vedic text.
Cool. Okay. I've been trying to actually share my screen as people are talking to give some visuals, but we'll work that out in the next couple of days. Hey, that was a cool story. I love that link and connection. Thank you, Jono.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shall we bounce to Nabre now? Is that all right? Nabre, you good?
I got a story. Be pretty quick though. Childhood. There was this monkey. His name was Boots, and I didn't interact with Boots directly, but he had a friend named Dora, and they would go on adventures. They went to the Amazon. Then the next day they went to the snowy mountain. You know, they went all around the world. But yeah, I observed Boots and Dora on their adventures a lot. You know. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Swiper, no swiping.
A streamer I know named as Cat Boots.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Man, that's so good. Wow.
Oh, good memory, I guess.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Nabre. Oh, awesome. Melanie, what have you got there for us, love?
I just say when I went over to the Gold Coast 1 year, I got to pet kangaroos and stuff, and that was nice.
Oh, cool. What's the
I've never been close to those kind of animals before, and it was just so interesting.
Wow.
There's all different animals there. I think I got to
Is it
hold a
soft or is it like
koala.
hold one?
Yeah, you can take a photo with them. I've got it and stuff. That was a really great memory.
Wow. Charm and I asked the same question. What do they feel like? What's their hair feel like?
What one? What animal?
Well, both.
It was kind of like soft, but I think a little bit rough, like a little bit, only a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's cool.
I liked it so much. I've got the spider and everything. Even when I was 2 years, I've holded a snake around my neck.
Oh my God.
With the fangs. Like, someone holding a baby crocodile. I was like, oh my God.
Wow. Where did you go? Did you go to the zoo in the Gold Coast or something?
The snake was near the beach side because every Friday night they would do like a little, stands everywhere with like little shops and food and stuff. And someone had like a snake and a crocodile and stuff there. But the kangaroo and the koala were at the actual zoo.
Right. Wow.
I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, it's so cool. Like, I want to go and do it again.
Thank you.
It's interesting.
We've had some cool experiences, eh? When people start to share and link things through. Appreciate that. Shan. Hang on, now I have to unmute.
No, I beat you.
You beat me.
I beat you this time.
Poohee.
Yeah, no, one of my earliest memories of an animal, sort of surrounded by animals growing up, but one of my one memory that sticks in was I was about 6, and we had 2 pet cows. One was called Star, and the other one was called Betsy. Now, these 2 cows, we used, or not, my grandfather, I was brought up with my grandfather, he used to milk them every morning, just these 2 cows. And about 6, and then he let me milk the cow. He asked me if I wanted to milk the cow, because when we used to have Milos, or when we used to have our breakfast, we always had boiled cow's milk, and it was lovely. It was straight from the cow, and then just boil it in a pot, and we'll have it on our Weet-Bix, have it on our porridge. And so I wanted to sort of have a go of milking the cow, and I asked my grandfather if I could milk it, because when he was doing it, it looked so easy. Milking the cow looked so easy. And then he was teaching me, and he was like, explaining to me I had to squeeze and pull it. And then he's like, see, get down close so you can have a look at what I'm doing. And then when I got down really close, he he squirted the milk into my face. and it was warm, you know.
Yeah,
but I was like, I was really into it, and he was explaining it, and then he started having a big laugh because he just started firing me with the milk in the face. But yeah, had a go, and I tried to milk the cow, but to no success. And I was trying really hard to try and do it. It actually took me a long time to actually just draw any milk.
Yeah.
It's actually quite hard. But yeah, that's sort of one of my earliest memories of an animal. Our pet, we had two cows, Star and Betsy, and they were really good cows. You pretty much just tell them something and they'll do it. They were really well trained.
Wow.
Yeah,
so that's my earliest memory of an animal anyway.
That's cool. Thank you, Shane. So I've been trying to choose one. And you know how I always tell you sometimes you just have to trust yourself and open your mouth, right? So I've got lots and lots of stories, and I'm going to choose this one. And as a young girl, so probably about 8 or 8, you're about 8 or 8, we lived on a farm, and every year in lambing season or calving season or whatever, I would always have a pet, either calf or lamb, for the competition at the school, for where everyone would bring their pets, their calves or their lambs, and then there'd be leading competitions and calling competitions and staying competitions with your creatures, because the idea is that you get them when they're quite little and you feed them, so they respond to you. So I had a lamb this particular year, and mine was called Millie, and I was old enough at that stage to have worked out how to train them. So she was a great leader. She she'd follow me all around the farm, as in I could put a lead on her, and she'd walk with me and stop with me and that kind of thing, and she'd run it. And I'd tell her to stay somewhere, and then she'd come directly to me if I called. Like, she was a really cool lamb. And so about that, I learned to train her quite well. Now, a little bit further on in the season, so before the calf club day, because that's what it used to be called, Dad came home with a lamb that its mum had passed. Now, this lamb hadn't had any connections with people, and so it was scared of us, but it still wanted to feed, because it was possibly about 8-9 weeks old. I don't know exactly from memory, but it was much bigger than we would normally get the lambs. So I decided and thought in my wildest dreams that I could have 2 lambs now, and I'd be able to train it the same. Wow, it was just the opposite. My nana, who was with us at the time, she just called it silly. I named it something else, but everyone ended up calling it silly because it would do everything opposite to what I wanted. So I'd spend heaps and heaps and heaps of time with my lambs. One of them would be following me around everywhere and the other one would be running away. And one particular time, my nana, we had a very big swimming pool there, an in-ground concrete swimming pool, and of course it was all fenced off. But for some reason, somehow, my silly lamb got out into the farm paddock, or like into our house paddock, and I must have been at school or something. Anyway, Nana somehow managed to get it into the swimming pool area where there was a little bit of grass around the outside, and just locked it in there till I came home. But trying to get it out actually meant the stupid lamb, which is why it ended up being called silly, actually leapt into the swimming pool to get away from me. It wasn't. So it was just, I never succeeded with that lamb. My other one, I think I got second for leading and first for calling that year. Like I did really well with one of the lambs. Yeah, so that was my experience with just basic sheep.
Wow.
How stupid they can be and how how cool they can be if really, really, truly hand-bred.
Fantastic.
Cool, guys. I think we've all had a conversation about our animals. So, please.
Shannon? Did Shannon?
Yeah, the cow.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a summary from each of you. So what did you enjoy about this? What did you enjoy about the connection today, please? Let's go around that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've got to say I definitely enjoy everyone's little versions of how they want to share. John, I loved your story from an ancient script, and probably my highlight was swiping no swiping from Jono from Nabre. So yeah, no, definitely some crazy stories and enjoyed those. Thank you very much, guys. They were cool.
Thank you. Is that you, Melanie?
Yeah, I'm moving around.
What did you enjoy today, love?
Just hearing everyone's voices again. I've heard from you guys for ages. Hearing everyone's stories about all the animals that they've had contact, or seen stuff, their experiences. What I liked.
Thank you. And thank you for contributing.
Yeah.
For me, it was probably just the banter and the playful teasing that was going around. So all the stories and stuff were cool, but just the sense of humour that everyone has, that's probably my highlight.
Thank you, and thank you for contributing. Nabre?
Pretty much what Mel said. It's good to hear from everyone, good to have more people on. What Mel said.
Okay. Thank you for contributing to that. And thank you for leading out yesterday, Nabre. Jono?
No, not really much more I can add than what everyone else has said. Just like nice to hear from everyone again, and yeah, pretty much. Not too much I can add on to what it's already been said.
Thank you so much, Jono, and thank you for contributing. Very cool. Shane, what you got?
Yeah, I just, similar to what everyone said, I actually like connecting with more people today, from 4 of us to 7 of us. Huge. I enjoyed, for me, that was what I enjoy, just connecting with more of us. And still knowing that there's still others that we can
There's others out there.
with us, and would love
That is
to
still live.
hear from them. Yeah, so it'll be good. And just to know that everyone's fine, everyone's okay, and everyone is well. So that was my highlight, just connecting, reconnecting. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, I want to thank each and every single one of you today for turning up, showing up, dialing up, and being here. So we'll do it same time again tomorrow, 9:30. We'll come up with some creative things between now and then just to keep things a little bit upbeat and conversational. Really enjoy it and really enjoy you. Thank you.
So just, it'll be the same link every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll be exactly the same link.
oh, it'll be next week, won't it?
It's Wednesday, so it'll be tomorrow.
No, it's Thursday today, so it'll be next Tuesday.
It's
It's April Fool's, and that's silent.
April Fools!
April Fools. Okay, so it's definitely clarity. Definitely tomorrow at 9:30. The same link, and if you know anyone in our group and you have connection with them either by text or messenger, please just sort of uffy them and let them know that it's safe to join and it's okay, and just encourage them to come along. That'd be very cool. And I'll put this recording up into the Facebook group if you're okay with that, because it just might encourage people to realise that it's actually okay.
Yep.
Yep. And if you like, I can tag you into it on that Facebook group, or I can just leave it. What do you?
I don't really care.
You don't care?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, either or.
Okay.
Will it be the same meeting ID thing, or is it going to be different tomorrow?
It'll be the same tomorrow. I set up three meetings at the same.
Oh, so the meeting ID will be the same. So I just call up again to the meeting number and that's it.
Exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah, just call up
That's
like,
easy.
hello, can I get fries with that?
Okay, can we, thank you everybody. Can we have a closing karakia, please, Shannon?
Yeah, no worries. Karakia whakamutunga, kia tau, kia tātou katoa, kia ata whai o tō tātou ariki, aihi karaiti, me te aroha o te ata, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, ake, āmene. Tūrou, Hawaii.
Hawaii. Kia ora koutou.
Ora.
Have a good day.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Travel
you.
safe.
Bye.